Behind the front lines of Russia's war on Ukraine lies a network that's as silent as it is lethal. A web of industry, wealth, and influence fueling the devastation. This is not just a story of generals and soldiers, but of billionaires and their corporations, quietly supplying the ingredients for destruction, while the world looks the other way. A shocking new report by Reuters reveals how some of Russia's wealthiest tycoons, billionaires like Roman Abramovich and Vagit Alekperov, are fueling the Putin's war machine. Let's start at the top of this pyramid. Roman Abramovich, known globally for his glittering tenure as the owner of Chelsea FC, and Vagit Alekperov, the oil tycoon hailed as Russia's wealthiest man in 2024. Their companies are household names in Russia, but their reach goes far beyond, touching Western markets and even your everyday supermarket. Their very companies are deeply entangled in Russia's war machine. Reports reveal that over 75% of the chemicals feeding into explosive production come from businesses linked to sanctions oligarchs like Abramovich and Alekperov, among others. While they claim plausible deniability, insisting their industries are strictly civilian, a forensic investigation into their supply chains tell a very different story. An analysis of over 600,000 rail shipments revealed the startling scale of chemical transfer to explosive plants owned by Rostec, Russia's state arms giant. These shipments included nitric acid, acetic acid, and ammonium nitrate, all essential for manufacturing high-powered explosives like RDX and TNT. While these billionaires are under sanctions, their chemical companies largely escape penalties due to their dual-purpose nature, producing both like civilian goods like fertilizer and components used in explosives. Western exemptions for food security to avoid famine in developing nations have created loopholes, allowing these companies to continue operations. Critics argue that it's time to rethink these policies. Washington points out that nations once dependent on Russian fertilizers now have alternatives. However, experts warn that sanctions could risk food supplies for millions of farmers globally. For Ukraine, this chemical lifeline to Russia's war machine has deadly consequences. In 2024, Russia produced over 2.4 million artillery rounds, supplemented by imports from North Korea. Ukraine, facing a shortage of explosives from NATO, is locked in a devastating artillery duel, with Russian forces gaining territory. Experts say that without cutting off these supplies, Russia's war machine will continue its deadly grind. These investigations exposes how billionaires and their businesses, veiled in civilian pretenses, fuel a war, leaving tens of thousands dead and millions displaced. As the world grapples with sanctions and ethical dilemmas, one question looms large. How can we close these loopholes without getting another global crisis?